our schools and our students. Thank you to the teachers and staff again. We had a great week, Organization Day, and I know they're ready. Now, I just want to say thank you again on the behalf of Milwaukee Marshall for taking the opportunity to come here and for this press conference. At this time, I would like to introduce the president of the Milwaukee Board of School Directors, Missy Zombor.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
The Milwaukee Board of School Directors are thrilled to welcome the start of a new school year and all the promise it holds for our students. My name is Missy Zombor. I'm an MPS parent and proud to serve as the board president and the citywide MPS school board member. The Milwaukee Board of School Directors is united in the belief that public education is a civil right. Our work is centered around fulfilling that promise that every child, regardless of their zip code, has the right to learn, to read, to dream, and to shape their future. As a board, our focus is on creating strong policies and ensuring the district meets the highest standards so that we can serve students well and uphold the trust of our community. That means ensuring our schools have what they need to thrive, from meaningful curriculum that excites students, to safe and welcoming buildings, to the supports that ensure students are healthy, in school, and ready to learn. We believe that school must be places of joy, justice, and transformation, where every student has access to grade-level learning they deserve. The superintendent, educators, and staff have been working hard to prepare for a wonderful school year. They've been busy hiring new educators, getting our buildings clean and welcoming, enhancing menu options, and engaging in professional development so every student has a strong foundation. We're all delighted to welcome back the laughter of children at recess, the friendships that blossom, and students celebrating each other's success at concerts and competitions, and the spark as students unlock the words on a page of a book. This year, Milwaukee Public Schools, from our classrooms to our boardroom, you can expect great things. And now it's my privilege to introduce a special partner in this work, Milwaukee Teachers Education Association President Ingrid Walker-Henry.
Welcome once again. My name is Ingrid Walker-Henry. I am a proud MPS graduate, a proud MPS parent and auntie, a 25-year Milwaukee Public School elementary teacher, and president of the Milwaukee Teachers Education Association. The honor of opening schools for students and families is entrusted to MTA members and all the other educational workers of Milwaukee Public Schools. As we stand here this morning, there are thousands of educational assistants, paraprofessionals, teachers, nurses, food service, building service helpers, and just so many others who are working hard to ensure that our schools are ready for Tuesday. Members of the MTA have risen to the challenge of packing up their schools in the spring to ensure the vital work around lead stabilization was complete and unpacking them this week. As educators in the many Milwaukee Public Schools across the district continue to prepare those classrooms, I and everyone here want to thank them for the countless hours they have worked to be ready for day one. We also want to thank them for the hours that they're going to continue to work throughout the school year to ensure that students have rich, meaningful instruction and just the experiences that make school a great place to be throughout the school year. Experience that will enrich and prepare them for the future. Successful schools happen when students, families, workers, and administrators come together as a community and collaboratively take on the important work that happens within the four walls of every single school. And we look forward to starting that work this year. So many families in Milwaukee make the decision to send their children to Milwaukee Public Schools. Those children are part of and expand their horizons in MPS. They do this in the multitude of programs that we offer. We have arts programs, bilingual, immersion programs, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, culinary, agriculture, teaching courses, Montessori, international baccalaureate, and advanced placement, and I am sure I am forgetting some of those out there. So today, I'd like to thank Principal Howe for opening the doors and extending his school community to us and showing us what makes Marshall a great high school. And at this time, I'd like to bring up ASC Executive Director Steve Lubar.
Good morning. My name is Steve Lubar, and I'm honored to serve as the Executive Director of the Administrator and Supervisors Council, the ASC. It's truly a privilege to be with you here this morning. First, I want to thank Principal Howell for opening the doors and having us here and showing us what a great school he has. Marshall holds a special place in my heart because my mom was a librarian here. The ASC proudly represents the principals, the vice principals, administrators, and supervisors at the Milwaukee Public Schools. Every day, our members work tirelessly to ensure our schools run smoothly, safely, and always with a focus of student success. Much of this work happens behind the scenes, but it's essential. From preparing classrooms to building strong teams to navigating the daily challenges of school life. The administrators and supervisors provide the steady leadership that schools need. As we begin this new school year, we feel an incredible sense of excitement and anticipation. A new school year brings with it fresh opportunities for growth, for learning, and for success. It's a chance for our students to discover new passions, strengthen their skills, and dream bigger than ever before. For our educators and leaders, it's a moment to reaffirm our commitment to excellence, to collaboration, and to building strong partnerships with families in the community. The success of MPS depends on these strong partnerships with Dr. Cassellius, with President Zombor, the board, with our dedicated teachers and staff who inspire students each day, and with our families and community members who share in the responsibility of building thriving schools. When administrators, teachers, families, and the community come together, the students of MPS truly soar. Together, we have the power to create schools where every child feels safe, valued, and inspired to achieve. The challenges ahead are real, but so too are the possibilities. When we work together with energy, with purpose, and with unity, there's no limit to what our students can accomplish. This year, let's make sure those opportunities turn into success stories for every student we serve. It's now my honor to introduce a leader who understands the deep connection between strong public schools and strong communities, our mayor, Mayor Johnson.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Such a pleasure to be here. I got just a flood of different feelings that are coming in right now. Being back here in my old aldermanic district, I got to see my old house as I was coming in here, and just being reminded here at Marshall High School some of the things that we did in this neighborhood with my 3 children who are Milwaukee Public Schools students as well. My son, who's now in high school in MPS, when he was in middle school, he was on the softball team through Milwaukee Rec, and in their first year, they didn't win a single game, not a single game. But we came here and we practiced with them here at Marshall, and in 7th grade and 8th grade, they went the distance. They won both years, and one of those years they were undefeated. Yeah, they did. Clap it up for them. Clap it up for them. He's since hung up his cleats and is now in the marching band at his MPS high school. But having the experience here helped him to go on to success there. When his younger sisters, my twin daughters, who are also elementary schools going into 2nd grade in Milwaukee Public Schools, when we lived around the corner and they were learning to walk, we walked around Marshall High School in order to get their little legs going and spent many a time during COVID walking around the track here at Marshall High School, getting them outside of the house. So a flood of emotions here. In fact, when I walked into the building, I was greeted by a former principal at Bayview High School. I'm a proud Red Cat myself. So I saw the current principal of Bayview High School back there, so great to see him. And Mr. Howell, who I've known for, 24 years, I think, at this point. We met at Bayview High School when I was a student there all those years ago. So it's really, really great to be here in this space and see so many wonderful faces here, partners in education as well. I see city years in the House represented. So glad to see you guys. Give them a round of applause. So I know that schools are really the heartbeat of Milwaukee, and strong schools mean a strong city. When our students are able to grow and thrive in classrooms, then it means our neighborhoods are able to thrive. When our students succeed, ultimately what that means is that our city succeeds. And I want to recognize the incredible dedication of our educators. And I get the chance to see them time and time again when I go into classrooms all across the district each and every single school year. These folks are so dedicated to young people in Milwaukee and working to make sure that they are uplifted and get the care and support that they need to be successful, not just in the classroom, but also in life. So please give it up for our educators who do outstanding work. Every day, again, they show up, they teach, they inspire, they guide our children towards their fullest potential. Families and community, they also play a critical role in helping to shape students, to help to shape young people to learn and grow here in Milwaukee. Part of ensuring students can focus on learning is making sure their schools are safe. And so this summer, Milwaukee Public Schools and the Department of Neighborhood Services worked together. They worked together to complete 139 fire inspections before school return. So we didn't have the interruptions during the school year. That work was done before students even stepped foot in the classroom. And that's partnership. That's partnership to make sure that students are safe when they return here. I know we're joined as well by the Milwaukee Police Department and the school resource officers here who are also, along with school safety, working to make sure that our young people in Milwaukee Public Schools are safe. Please give them a round of applause. I appreciate their presence here as well. They also improve communication. The city and MPS working to make sure that any safety issues can be addressed quickly while coordinating with the Milwaukee Health Department to ensure lead remediation projects move forward, and they move forward seamlessly as well. So thanks to this really proactive work, our schools were safe and they were ready for students when they come into not just this school, but schools all throughout the city, all throughout the district come next week. With our school safety, with our schools safe and ready, we can focus on what really matters, and that's making sure that young people are in an opportunity to excel as we move forward into this school year. As we move forward into the school year, I can tell you from day number one, since she's been on the job, March 15th, and I probably have told this story a number of times, so bear with me. I knew she was going to be a strong partner to work with, helping to elevate student success in Milwaukee. And I knew that because on March 15th, she started in her job months earlier than what she ordinarily would have. She came in, she was focused, her sleeves were rolled up. She actually beat me to one of the lead testing clinics for students in Milwaukee as we were going through the lead crisis, and some schools unfortunately had to be shuttered. But we worked through that process together, collaboratively, and it's really been a pleasure and an honor to work along with our school superintendent. So ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the MPS superintendent, Dr. Brenda Cassellius, who's been a great partner. So Superintendent, floor is yours.
Good morning. Good morning. And thank you for all being here. I want to first thank Principal Howell and his staff. I'm so glad he shouted our engineers, because our engineers, our building service workers are working so hard and they need to really be acknowledged. So can we please give it up for them? Also, President Zombor and Director Ferguson, who's also here with us today, just their incredible support of our schools and our teachers and all of our educators across the district is just unwavering. I'm so happy that you're here. President Walker Henry, I welcome your partnership and the collaboration and the challenges that we have moving forward are just going to be vast, and so having the unions and all of our workers represented here is so important, as well as our Executive Director Lubar here representing our administrators and supervisors who work tirelessly on behalf of children. All of your unwavering support for our schools and our students is just incredibly welcomed, and I can say I have felt tremendously supported by all of you who are standing here alongside me today. As I often say, this work takes an entire team, and we have a great team at Milwaukee Public Schools and in Milwaukee. As many of you know, my hometown is Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I also want to take a moment to acknowledge the pain and concern and sadness that many of us are feeling today following the horrific shooting of school children in Minneapolis yesterday. I raised my own children just blocks from where this happened. This tragedy is simply horrific. I have raised the issue of gun violence in our own community here in Milwaukee. And if yesterday isn't a testament, and all of the children that we have lost over the past year isn't a testament, we must, as a community, rally together to do something about this needless violence within our communities, not just here in Milwaukee, but across the entire nation. We need to raise our voices. All of us here in MPS are sending our love and support to the Annunciation community and to the broader Minneapolis community today as they begin the long process of healing ahead. We continue to enhance our own safety practices here at the district, recognizing this unfortunate reality. We may not have all the answers right now, but we are being given an opening as a community as we work to help us all move forward together. The start of the school year should bring a joyful, exciting time, and that is our goal as we prepare to welcome our students back to class next week. So let me begin with an update on what we have been working on this summer. First, I know the work to stabilize lead in our building is top of everyone's minds. We continue to stay on track toward our goal of clearing all pre-1950 schools that serve elementary students of lead risk by the first day of school, which is Tuesday, September 2nd. So mark your calendars. As of last night, 37 of the 50 schools have fully cleared, while 13 still have final cleaning and testing in progress. And a big thank you to the mayor and his health department. This is a process of swabbing and recleaning and swabbing and recleaning because safety is key and safety is our first goal. So many, many thanks again to our facilities team and our maintenance services team for their tireless efforts, round-the-clock, 24/7 weekends, giving up holidays to assure that our school staff and their I also want to give thanks to our school staff as well and the patience that they are exhibiting this week as they return to their classrooms, messy, with boxes piled up, things not in the right place. So many thanks to you, President Walker Henry, for your partnership and all of the folks who have come. Even the mayor gave us 73 volunteers this week to help us put our classes back together, and many, many other volunteers from the community are helping. So many, many thanks for everybody and your patience. We knew this would come down to the wire, and it has, but we are really confident that we'll be able to open up all schools and no school will have to relocate come next Tuesday. We're continuing to communicate directly with our school communities as their buildings are cleared and keep an updated list of schools on our lead report page at mpsmke.com/MPS lead report. MPS schools were not impacted by the recent impacted by the recent record-setting rainfall and flooding. However, most of them weren't impacted, However, 24 were. At 12 schools, due to the age of the building and the prevalence of asbestos in some of the tile work during this period, again, the average age of our building is 89 years. 49 is the average across the nation. So, we have some of our schools have older tiles, older paint, and we're continuing to remediate and address all of those issues. MPS is bringing asbestos experts with 20 plus years of experience to safely remove these tiles where necessary, and all will be tested. All the affected areas are going to be tested before we allow those areas to be used by children and staff. We have about 4,000 teaching positions in the district, and we're about 98% of the way there, with a lot of... This has also been a huge challenge. Of course, everybody knows about the teacher shortages, but with a lot of hiring still being finalized now, we have fewer than 100 true classroom vacancies right now. So we're feeling really good about that. My goal is to get us to zero. We will be using certified staff from the MPS Central Services to fill positions where we can. And we will be looking at our policies and practices moving forward to make long-term changes in how we staff our buildings and our schools to ensure every child has a certified, permanent, caring, and competent teacher in every single classroom. That is the most basic thing we can do and the most prioritized thing on my calendar to make sure that we do for the upcoming school year and school years to come. This year, we have 3 main areas of focus for our work to move MPS forward. Our academic side of our team will be driving academic excellence with a focus on literacy instruction across our grade levels. The truth is, our literacy rates just are not where we want them to be. What we have found is that there has been inconsistent professional development instruction and delivery of our curriculum across all grades. We have an incredible team of educators and instructional leaders who will be driving this work in the year ahead, and they need our support as we continue to tailor our reading strategy so that all teachers have what they need so that all students are reading. Another focus area is around our commitment to safe and welcoming schools. This is our work to free our schools of lead dangers and ensuring that the staff in our buildings feel safe and are safe. We have a team of operational managers who will help us identify issues in our schools and support our school principals in addressing issues quickly and effectively, both with care and also we have our 300 safeties here and our SROs who are also helping in our high schools. Finally, our focus on operational excellence. This will include our work to shore up our financial systems to ensure we are meeting the requirements set by our state partners. It also means elevating our work in communities with our families, our staff, and our greater community, and in strengthening our work in human resources to be sure we are following the high standards we should expect. Both the high standards in our own professional work culture of respect and kindness, as well as how we respond to our community and how we serve our community. Across our district, families, students, and staff will see several new improvements this year. Those include athletic facility upgrades district-wide. Some of our recent ESSER investments upgraded district athletic facilities and expanded co-curricular and extracurricular program offerings for students. MPS student athletes, neighborhood residents, and MKA Rec program participants can enjoy premier play facilities, fan experiences across 10 renovated swimming pools, reconstructed tennis courts at 7 high schools, renovated state-of-the-art field houses at North Division, South Division, and Vincent high schools, outdoor sports like soccer and football benefiting from new lighting, improved accessibility, bleacher seating, concession and visitor spaces at Vincent and Pulaski stadiums, Bradley Technology and Trade School replaced its synthetic turf field and added new bleachers. So a lot of work with MKE Rec. The school board has asked me to come back with a recommendation for even further improvements within opportunities for students before and after school, and we anticipate that coming forward in October. School libraries are the hub of learning. We all know that. And maker spaces have been added to our school libraries. More than 90 school libraries now feature maker spaces activities, offering K through 12 students opportunities to design, to build, and problem solve through hands-on exploration. We also have a menstrual equity pilot that we are going to be scaling up throughout the year at all of our high schools. This provides free menstrual products to our students. A national study found that more than 20% of American teenagers are unable to afford these essential items, and not having access to these products can contribute to increased student absenteeism, higher dropout rates, which creates a cycle of negative effects to a student's health, education, and future opportunities. So we wanted to make a small change because sometimes the small changes can have a huge difference and give payback in dividends that are measured in student outcomes. We made some changes to our menu and our kitchen upgrades. Menu improvements include healthier options, fresh food bars, and vegetarian entrees, and foods that are culturally responsive to our many diverse learners. Our students will be happy to know that MPS is moving away from prepackaged to freshly prepared meals. This school, high school students can choose between locally sourced, grab-and-go entree salads or prepared lunches. MPS is partnering with nutrition education nonprofit Food Right and Wisconsin Food Hub Cooperative to serve more Wisconsin produce, fresh Wisconsin produce. More than 100 school kitchens will make and serve meals on site in 2025 and 2026. Last school year alone, MPS served nearly 13 million meals. As I hope you can tell, Milwaukee Public Schools is a district on the move. We look forward to seeing everyone in school on Tuesday, September 2nd for a great school year. Together, we can expect more, we can expect better, we can expect great things. Because together we will earn the trust of all of Milwaukee. And as we strive forward, we will for every child as well. Thank you. And I think that's it. Will we take a few questions from the press, or
There's a tour, and then for people.
do we want to do the tour first, or we want to do questions first? Okay, so Mayor and I think President Zombor and others be ready in case they have questions, and President Walker Henry.
Dr. Cassellius, just in light of what happened yesterday, has the district been having conversations about security, and will anything be changed or added before Tuesday?
Yeah, we just met with our security team just a few days ago before this happened, and we will be reconvening our security team just to make sure that we are absolutely prepared. We continue to do that updating, and then also coordinating with the city and our SROs as well. I had a meeting with them again this week, earlier this week before this incident. So it's a call to action for all of us to just be more diligent in making sure that we're prepared.
Just to be clear on the asbestos affected schools, that's related to the flooding, and that's 12 schools out of 24 where work is still happening?
That's correct. Yes, we are monitoring the work because, as you can tell, we have tiles here. So when they get wet, we have to wait for them to dry, make sure that they don't buckle. So we're monitoring the buckling, and that just takes time. If they buckle, that's when they have to be addressed. When they're not disturbed, then they don't have to be addressed. So we have our specialists working in on those as well. And that is from the flooding, yes.
Away people that would otherwise be doing lead work at the remaining schools?
It did impact the lead work earlier with the floods, so we had to pull crews off. We lost a contractor who had to help our residents as an emergency, so there were a number of impacts to our work for our lead work moving forward this summer. But we have all of the staff on board now with the last 13 schools that we are just cleaning up certain areas. Say, this room may have had an area over here that was swabbed, and it came back at 11 instead of 10 micro, whatever the unit is that they need to use for that. And then we will re-wipe that area, clean the room, have it retested, and then it will be cleared. And so that's what we're waiting for. A couple classrooms and also a few corridors and areas that we need to have cleared before and retested. We did testing this morning, re-cleaning, and we will see where we're at the end of the day. And then whatever's the delta on that, we'll then re-clean again in the morning, retest, and hopefully by Tuesday we'll be ready to go.
What can students expect with the lead remediation during the school year? I know that you said that summer was the main priority, but there's also going to be a during the school period cleaning session as well.
Yeah, so we're ready to do the next 52 to 54 schools and finish those by the end of the calendar year. We'll be doing those after school hours as not to disturb any of the items when we're cleaning that. So we'll do that when students aren't there and on weekends to get that ready.
What do you tell parents who, after yesterday, might feel nervous sending their kids to school this year?
Yeah, this is just a horrible tragedy that happened. All of us across the nation, whenever we see these things happen, just are calling our teams together and making sure that we have done everything that we can. We have SROs in our buildings. We have 300 safeties within our buildings. We require anyone coming into our buildings to sign in before access. We have video cameras. We are taking every step to make sure that our students are safe.
And on the SROs, will that number be staying the same this year, or are there conversations about maybe adding more officers?
There will be more trained officers, but the officers, we will still be at 25 this year in our schools and our high schools.
Same locations, or are they going to be moved to different spots?
They are always moving to spots where they're needed, but they do have locations to where they are set within our high schools.
So like hubs, like they almost have hubs and then kind of a roster of a handful of schools that they kind of move.
Well, there's probably a better question for the mayor, but I do believe that our systems are set up so that we are going with the programs that we had last year, to my best of my understanding, and then they have additional who will be trained in case there's any attrition on the core of the team, as well as if there's anyone out sick, that we're able to have someone come back up who has been trained as an SRO to be in our buildings. And then they'll deploy as needed, and then there will be any backup, obviously, if there needed to be backup within any other calls. We have 156 buildings, obviously. MPD is always at the ready to support and back up.
Should a danger like that come to NPS, do you feel like the district is positioned to adequately respond and keep kids safe?
I do believe we are positioned, we're better positioned now with the SROs in our schools, and them having mobile units and being able to deploy quickly, as well as the relationship, I think, that is working between our safety team and also the MPD team in how they're responding. They coordinate regularly and daily on any kind of threats, understanding threats. They're working with our school leaders on that. And so I feel confident that our team is continuing to work and monitor the situations that come up within the community.
Dr. Cassellius, the deferred maintenance and school capacity report came out over the summer. When can the community expect a slate of plans regarding school capacity and potential closures?
So obviously, you know, no superintendent wants to come into a new school district and be faced with having to close or merge schools. But we understand the age of our facilities and the deferred maintenance costs and how large that budget is. And so we will be going out to the community this fall, starting to talk. We have an advisory that has been meeting, and that work commenced way before me coming. And so the community has already been involved into these plans, and so we will be going out to the community, talking to them about these plans as part of our strategic direction. As you can see, I have these wonderful visual note-taking boards that we did in 9 listening sessions this past summer, and we will continue to do those listening tours. We will take what the community has shared with us. We will coordinate that into kind of coalesce and summarize the data that's there and give it to the board so that they can have it in a working session, and I can debrief the board on what the community has shared. That will then turn into goals, which will turn into a strategic plan, which then will inform our budgetary and our decisions that we have to make about which schools will close and which schools will merge.
At the end of last school year, we talked about your plan of maybe shifting some of the educators who were based at central office to classrooms. Did that end up happening before the school year?
Yes, we did follow through with that plan. We have almost 30 who are back into the classroom, and many chose to go back into the classroom. And then now, as we are short still within our classrooms, we will deploy those who are certified and who have license, and then we'll use long-term subs for the other vacancies that still exist, and try to cover with substitute teachers as well. But we are continuing to push. I see Ms. Carol Eady back there from our HR team, interim chief. They have been working really hard out recruiting and continuing to try to drive. I had a meeting with Madison's Dean of Education, talking about how in the future we can partner on teacher prep programs. They put out about 400 teachers every single year. I want to make sure we're getting those teachers to Milwaukee Public Schools. So new strategies that we'll be using in all of our partnerships with our local universities and colleges, as well as our recruitment and hiring process to improve that process so that we can get teachers in our classroom and so that they're all supported.
So in addition to those 30 staff that are already moving back into the classroom, to fill that remaining 100 or so, are you going to end up pulling more certified staff in central
I
office
will.
than you originally forecasted?
Yes, we do anticipate that they will be pulled into the classroom to be able to support, and that's not unlike any other year. So that is a practice that has been happening within the district, and the teachers are expecting it, that are centrally deployed, and they are just being really great, and they've already been meeting with their communities and talking to their principals, and that we are starting to do those assignments.
Why don't we take that tour, and then
All right.
if people want to talk more with the superintendent, talk to Steve, and we'll get that.
Thank you all for being here.